Hey everybody, welcome back to another podcast of From Our Minds. I'm Andrew, the sort of main host.
And I'm Kevin. I'm here sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. So Kevin actually went and saw something, and he insisted on us speaking about it.
I saw a movie yesterday.
Oh, Kevin, what kind of movie?
Well, it was a movie that kind of got mediocre reviews from both the audience and the critics.
Oh, sounds wonderful.
It's not half bad. It's not half good.
It's
Yeah.
oh, okay. Well, that sounds like a rip-roaring fun time then to go see that.
It's called, you might want to see it. You might not want to see it. it's it's Wardogs.
Well, is it one of those kind of things where you'd only like to see it if you're actually interested in the subject matter?
No, I think you'd want to go see it if you like the actors that are in it. It's one of those. It's got that. I think his name's Jonah Hill. You know, the chubby Jewish guy who's in all the funny movies. He was in like Superbad.
Oh, okay, yeah, I
That
got him,
guy.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's right. I've never actually seen the movie, but I saw the poster of the movie.
and it had him in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's in it, and then there's that other guy who's like generic. I forget what else he's in, but he's like, I don't know why he's an actor. He's not
Mm.
like particularly. What's that guy's name? Can you look it up? No.
Can you look it up?
Actually, it's not really important to what we're doing.
Yeah, it's not important.
It doesn't matter what the other guy's name is.
Yeah,
Um, Maybe you could look it up anyway.
look it up anyway. Okay.
Look up the cast of the Wardogs movie.
You can tell we really planned this a lot.
Yeah. So, anyways, I saw it, and I had to say that it reminded me. It's kind of like an extended episode of American Greed.
I like American Greed.
We watch that show all the time.
Everybody likes American Greed.
Yeah. So it's pretty much the same thing. It's about two young guys who get in over their head and end up making a lot of money in very shady ways, and you know how it is. It's just like American Greed. You don't stop until you get caught.
Yeah, I don't understand why people don't just leave before they get caught.
It's the same story. People just they don't know when to quit. That's why it's called
American Greed.
greed, because you don't know what you can't stop. You never enough is never enough.
I guess so, but like, all right, now I understand getting away from War Dogs for a second. Speaking
Yeah.
about American Greed specifically, now sometimes they do get caught quite quickly,
Yes.
kind of thing. In which case, too bad for that guy there. But sometimes like they know they're being
Yeah,
investigated.
they have a
The
chance
wolves
to
are
get
at the
away.
door,
Yeah.
but they have to push through paperwork or red tape or whatever like that before they can actually make a move on them.
To arrest them, they have to collect
Yeah,
evidence.
they do nothing.
They
If
don't do
not, they
anything.
continue to do what they are doing. That is making them look bad.
Hmm. Yeah, and it's kind of the same thing with this movie. They push ahead with their questionable activities that turn into illegal activities that turn into very illegal activities
Okay.
that turn into getting caught.
Huh.
And you think you'd be tipped off when a reporter calls your house. You'd think if a reporter's investigating your, your what what are they? They're gun runners, basically. War middlemen guys.
Oh, like that.
What are they? The war dogs. That's what they call them.
Yeah.
They're middlemen who find military supplies and sell them to the U.S.
Oh,
government.
kind of like that thing there with Buddy there from American Treasure, Lord of War.
Oh yeah,
Something.
yeah. That's the same movie too. Yeah, Lord of War. Yeah, that was
That one I did see.
that one was darker, and
Uh,
yeah, that was good too. I mean, that one wasn't half good, half bad either, right? It was
yeah,
pretty okay.
it wasn't. I wouldn't show it to my mother, but it was good.
This one I wouldn't show to my mom either. I mean, it's hard to remember if there was a lot of swearing or if there was not that much swearing, because when there's a lot of swearing, sometimes you just kind of get desensitized to it and you don't notice it.
Kind of, yeah. For me personally, it's what kind of swearing it is.
Well, it was the bad kind.
Well, no, okay. Let me explain this. All right. So if let's say if somebody is calling somebody something rather crude out of anger or annoyance while they're fighting or whatever like that, that for me that's bad swearing, and like I get annoyed by that. However, you watch something like another financial movie, The Big Short. There's so much swearing
Oh
in that
yeah,
movie,
that thing
but
was
they're not.
loaded with
Yeah,
swearing.
but they're not swearing at people per se. They're swearing at the situation they're in, or because of the stress that they themselves are feeling. And swearing, it's still kind of like, come on, guys. But you can kind of understand why they're swearing in that. They're not swearing for the sake of swearing. They're swearing because things aren't going well.
Well, yeah, there was definitely things weren't going well at moments in the War Dogs movie, so they swore. But I think there was like some frivolous swearing as well. Um, yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of violence to speak of,
That's good.
but there, a little bit. But it was good. It was fun. It was like I kind of had the feeling it's fun watching a movie in a movie theater, even if it's not a big screen kind of movie.
Yeah, yeah,
Like you could watch this at home. I don't think you'd be missing a whole lot. But it's still nice to see it in the theater for the communal experience, right?
yeah. Of
And
course.
it was fun walking out of there because I noticed that I think I had the feeling. Okay, the best part was at the end of the movie. Spoiler alert here, guys. They get caught.
Okay. Oh no! Really?
Yeah, really. Apparently, when you do massive illegal activities involving hundreds of millions of dollar government contracts, you can involving importing illegal weapons. You can and do get caught. And you know what? It's funny. It's just like American Greed. It's usually something stupid that brings you down, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just like in this movie, which is based on a true story.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an American Greed. That's what I mean. It's a true story.
It's a
But
2 hour long American Greed
yeah,
episode. Yeah.
yeah, it's 2 hour long. So, except without the badass narrator,
Mm.
man, that guy's good. And what they were stirring, well, yeah, I can't do him. But
Little did they know the wolves were closing in from
yeah,
the sides.
so
Boom, boom. Oh yeah, I did Law and Order by accident. Bomb, bomb.
oh yeah, that's Law and Order. No. American Greed's like maybe that's
Yeah, that's American
violence.
Greed. Yeah, yeah.
No,
Oh.
okay, so they get caught, and it's because of something stupid. They're repackaging. Um, they have to fill this order for AK-47 ammunition for
Classic gun.
100 million rounds of it. They need it because the American government's arming the Afghanistan
Ah,
people.
I wonder how that'll work
And
out for him.
so yeah, I know they're doing it again. They did it again, right? So they need 100 million rounds of ammo. So they're getting it from Albania. But as they are going through the stockpile, they realize it's not Soviet era stuff sitting in a warehouse like they thought it was.
Yeah.
It's actually Chinese munitions,
Uh,
which there's an embargo against from the U.S. So what do? They try to repackage it, and they hire a box. They hire a box cutting guy in Albania who is doing it for them, right? He's got 50 guys on an assembly line. It's
yeah, yeah.
taking, he said it'll take about 8 weeks, so it's taking a while. Like all these guys working every day, opening up these heavy wooden crates and repackaging them. So the thing is the one partner, the Jonah Hill character, is a total jerk, and he kind of he kind of gets to the point where he he, okay, so Jonah Hill he gets to the point
Does
where
he start off as a nice guy at least, and he turns evil, or is he just like that?
he's kind of like a sociopath nice guy. He's a nice guy because he needs you,
Oh, okay.
and so you have a great time with him, right? Like a lot of sociopaths you can have like a great time with because they know how to manipulate people.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's a really charismatic kind of guy. um, but towards the end, if this was an American Greed episode, the narrator probably would have mentioned that, and they would have mentioned that in the episode. But he wasn't paying people and paying his bills, like just trying to keep everything, you know.
Yeah, that doesn't
So
work.
so he wasn't actually paying the box cutting guy, even though the box guy was saving their bums
Yeah, yeah.
from the fire, and it was actually saving them a ton of money because they was taking them out of wooden crates and doing it and putting them in light boxes, so they were saving tons on shipping. It was helping. They were making. Oh yeah, they said they were making an extra 3 million by doing that,
Hmm.
and he was only charging them $100,000 to do it over the 8 weeks, and so they they and he wasn't paying him. That was the thing. He wasn't paying him. He didn't pay him at all a cent, and eventually he just had enough, and so he called the American government to squeal on them,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and so that's what brought them down. Something stupid, not paying your bills.
Uh,
So I found it really funny. I'm like, this is a typical American Greed thing. It's like that guy with all the race cars. Remember?
oh yeah, yeah.
What
Parking them all down the street.
what
Yeah.
scam was that he was in?
He was selling like fake green
Yeah,
shares.
yeah. He was selling fake energy
Yeah,
credits,
that's right. Yeah, yeah.
and he bought all of these expensive exotic luxury cars and ran out of space for them in his driveway,
Yeah.
and started parking them down the street of his neighborhood.
But then this is a
yeah,
neighborhood where people shouldn't be able to afford to do that kind of thing.
it was a nice upper middle class neighborhood, but or upper class neighborhood. But I mean, it's not like he had a 12-car garage
Yeah, yeah,
that he needed, and yeah, so that's what brought him down. People were complaining about the cars on the road,
yeah.
and it caught the radar of the police. They're like, oh, something's not right here, right?
Oh, that was pretty bad.
So it's stupid. It's not always something stupid, but it usually is. And so yeah, so these guys got brought down by something stupid too. Anyway, so the end of the movie, which was fun, is they didn't even really end up. They did all of these illegal things, made all kinds of money, in the wrong kind of way, and at the end, the kingpin, the real bad guy, the Jonah Hill gets 4 years in prison,
Oh no.
and the
Does he get to keep the money?
I, I don't know. It depends how much he hit offshore, I guess.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
still, the other guy gets 7 months house arrest,
It's like a slap on the wrist. It's like
and
nothing.
that's what was so funny was the reaction of the people in the audience, which is why it's fun to go to movie theaters. I mean, people laugh at jokes and people yell stuff. It's entertaining,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
audience. But this was different. This was funny because there were people in the audience like, as if they're like, "Are you kidding? I can't believe that!" Like because they weren't really punished at all. Like, well,
Yeah,
one
yeah,
guy was
yeah.
a little bit punished. One guy, and they had a whole team working for them eventually, and only one guy was like kind of really punished. The other guy was kind of like a slap on the wrist.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Well,
it
I'm sure
was.
they probably had lawyers up the wazoo.
I don't know. They didn't really go into it. I couldn't say, but 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 yeah.
Well, the same thing happened in The Big Short. Like nobody got punished for anything that happened in the movie.
Oh, you mean that happened in real life,
Yeah,
like the
that happened.
financial
Yeah,
collapse?
that actually
Yeah,
literally happened and affected like an entire, basically the world,
yeah.
kind of thing. And
Except for that
nothing.
one guy who was like a Muslim or Indian who worked for that one bank. Remember?
Yeah,
There
one
was
guy
one guy.
did
One
get
guy
it.
did go to jail. They did send one banker to jail for some bogus reasons,
Yeah, yeah,
and he wasn't anywhere near the worst guy.
yeah, yeah.
He was just like everybody else. Like, yeah. So that was another fun movie to watch in the theaters because at the end when he did the fake happy ending,
Hmm.
where remember like what should
Yeah,
have happened,
yeah, yeah.
like everyone was dead silent and seemed really depressed because they realized nothing changed.
No, because at the
So
end too, they even wouldn't say that they're starting to do it again a few years later. The exact same thing.
yeah,
The
yeah,
same people who never really lost the money in the first place.
yeah. So yeah, so it's a corrupt thing, but
Makes for entertaining films if you have the right mindset.
yeah, yeah, and this was a good one. Like The Big Short might have been too much for some people, but this was a lot more entertaining.
Hmm.
Wardogs, it had a lot of funny stuff in it. It was kind of
Okay, yeah.
comedic too.
Big
Yeah.
Short wasn't very comedic.
No, yeah, but this was funny. This was a funny movie.
I don't even know if I should bring this up because I doubt you'll remember it. But what's the name of the movie we watched where the it took place in 2008 again, like that, like The Big Short, but it all took place in the same financial
Oh
building over
yeah,
the
yeah,
course of
that
one
was
day.
with the one with Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, and like it was once again it was a lot the language. Oh man, but it was at the
That one wasn't as
situation.
bad as The Big Short,
No, it
was it?
wasn't as bad as The Big Short, but it was pretty tense. And the idea of this one was that's gonna bug me. I don't know what the name. But anyway, some company realizes that everything's going to collapse before it
Yeah.
collapses.
So they're the one who started the
Yeah,
collapse.
they start the
Yeah.
collapse. Like they get it going, kind of a thing. They kind of get out scot free. Not really. A lot of people lost their jobs, of course, but
Well, they get out like first,
yeah,
so
yeah.
it's not as bad for them as it was for everyone else. Yeah,
But I like the part where all the CEOs were coming to work in the morning. There's helicopters all in the sky, just like all landing on all the
yep,
skyscrapers everywhere.
yep, yeah. It's I don't know, and people never seem to change, and things doesn't look like they're gonna change anytime soon either.
Yeah, yeah.
So I
What
don't
would it
know.
be like taking a helicopter to work every
I imagine you'd probably lose touch with reality
day?
if you did it every day. What kind of a grasp would you have on the situation?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yes. I saw the plebeians in their automobiles on the road today. They seem to be having quite a lovely time of it.
Oh, I saw one jolly good time on a hoverboard
There
going
was
along the street.
there was one CEO, I forget his name. I think it was the Citigroup CEO. I can't remember, but he had his own private elevator. So once he
Oh,
got out of his car, he could go to his one elevator and he didn't have to see anyone because he didn't even have to go in the building.
yeah.
He just went into his elevator, went straight up to his office. Like,
That's not
so
healthy.
he, oh, you
That's not
think?
healthy.
Do you think?
And these are the people with the money, the ones who are in power.
Yeah.
They control everything.
Yeah. So in a way, yeah, it was it's pretty bad. The Wardogs film was again. It was about two small time guys like trying to rake it in. All of a sudden,
Yeah, then things just spiral and snowball kind of idea, I guess.
yeah, things spiral out of control, and you got to think if like two little amateurs, they were in their early 20s and they did this right. So you got to think if two little gangsters like this can commit that kind of crime, like people who are seasoned, who've been in power for a long time, who know how not to get caught.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you got to wonder what kind of things they're getting away with.
hmm
Yeah,
Next time you see an unmarked transport truck drive by, I wonder what's actually in it.
there's a great scene in the movie. It's a lot of fun where they have to run a bunch of guns from Jordan to Iraq because there's a Italy just puts an embargo in place so they can't export any Berettas to Iraq.
Hmm.
They don't want to be part of the war, right? So they import the guns into Jordan and try to smuggle them. They drive them across from Jordan to Iraq through Fallujah. You know, like they called it the Triangle of Death,
Yeah,
and it was a lot of fun. It's pretty entertaining. Yeah, it's entertaining, but then the last act kind of slows down quite a bit.
yeah, yeah. When everything kind of falls apart, I guess.
Yeah, but it didn't. It was kind of yeah, it was kind of slow the last half. I thought
Yeah, yeah.
the last quarter, last act. Yeah. So
I'm curious about.
I give it a not bad. I give it a you could do worse.
You could do worse.
You could do worse. It was entertaining. Yeah.
But you like well this is kind of getting the corrupted aspect of it. But like you just bought Tropico, didn't you? And like you're playing that, and this
Oh
don't you
yeah,
like buy and sell arms and stuff in that one? And
yeah. So Tropico is a video game series where you're the dictator of a Caribbean island, and it's lots of fun because the only objective to that game is to try and stay in power and to I want to use the word to rape your country as much as you can to build up your Swiss bank account.
oh okay,
So when you do eventually like get thrown out by a big uprising or a military coup or a foreign invasion, that you'll have something, you'll have your golden parachute to land with.
so basically like in real life when it gets to that
So
stuff.
basically, kind of in real life, yeah, it's fun. It gives you a taste of power without actually having to commit any crimes.
Hmm.
Yeah, unlike those girls down the street with their lemonade stand.
The lemonade stand.
I didn't see them this year. Did you?
No, I didn't. Wait, I saw some kids, but not the
But at
girls.
the end of
Yeah.
the street, yeah,
I wonder if they'll ever start charging tax at lemonade stands.
there were these girls at a lemonade stand down our street, and I'm not even exaggerating. They had a giant barrel full of water with some lemons dropped into it, and not even full lemons, just the rinds. They just had a bunch of lemon rinds and some water, and they were selling it for like $1 for a tiny little styrofoam cup. And I had to try it because I thought maybe it was just for decoration, the rinds, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
thought it was like made to look all pretty. And nope, no ice, no nothing. It was just lemon rinds and water.
Huh.
There's no sugar. It tasted terrible.
Huh.
And I was like, I,
Did you lie and so you didn't hurt their feelings, or?
no, I was about to try and make a backhanded compliment joke to them when all of a sudden they shoved that political poster in my face. I guess their uncle was running for election or something, and they were promoting him with their lemonade stand. Oh, yeah. Those
So-
girls were crooks.
They're crooks.
They're crooks, and they're only like 5, 7 years old, maybe.
Oh man, they're gonna pass the War Dog guys at this rate.
They're starting so young nowadays.
They're so young.
Yeah.
They know the way how things work, especially as city girls.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. You save a lot of money on your lemonade costs when it's just water and sugar. I mean, water.
But even then, how much does a lemon cost? It costs like nothing. You buy it for like 50 cents.
Yeah, I'm not too impressed. Not too impressed.
You should have thrown it back on their face or something like that.
um, no, they're just little kids.
Yeah, okay, yeah. That sounds like something you probably go to jail for anyway. And you probably get
Throwing
more than
lemon on
7 months.
kids.
Oh, lemonade?
Oh
Like,
yeah, see, that's just another thing too, right? Yeah, you could get like what, assault of a minor maybe?
yeah, yeah.
Is that a crime? Like, and whatever it was, it'd probably be worse than what those guys did. Your punishment, like,
So it's kind of weird. I don't understand how the judicial system works. Like, they're laundering millions and millions of dollars. Blah blah blah, arms and all the rest of it, and they get 7 months and 4 years respectively. Meanwhile, some schmuck who robs a 7-Eleven will get like 8 years. Kind of idea.
well, it's because he did it with a gun.
Well, these people were selling guns.
Mandatory selling sentences. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Whatever. It's.
Yeah,
I don't get it. I don't claim to understand it either. This is why Steve and I just talk about like dumb stuff all the time.
yeah,
Kevin, you're
it's true.
dragging the channel down. You're bringing us into reality too much.
Well, let's see. What's not reality? How about this new mic we got?
Yeah, did you hear? We should actually sound like we're talking normally now.
This mic is so sweet. Yeah, it's a Yeti.
A Yeti Blue, I think.
Steve knows all about it. Write into the show and ask him questions about this mic.
Dear Steve. Actually, you know what? We haven't gotten a single comment yet on anything.
Really?
Yeah, we're up to around 40 views altogether for the
Did you
channel.
do any calls to action?
Calls to action. Well, we asked in the very first video somebody from Deutschland to say hi in the comment section, but that's about it.
Someone said hi from Deutschland?
No, nobody actually did.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, you know your geography well, right?
Yeah,
Deutschland isn't Dutchland, right?
it's Germany.
Okay, I thought so. I didn't want to say anything because,
Oh,
I
yeah,
didn't want to
dude.
look bad in front of Steve.
Yeah. Is that the reason?
Well,
Oh, Andrew.
we didn't even know that there are horses in Finland, so, it's all good.
So wait, so someone didn't make a comment.
No, nobody made any comments anywhere.
So why did you mention this?
Well, because, we're figuring, maybe somebody would listen somewhere, but...
Okay, whoever's listening to this podcast that has made it this far in, we would like you to enter a question.
Okay.
That question is...
What's in Finland?
No. That question is, if you could commit a white-collar crime and get away with it, would you? And how much money would be enough to satisfy you?
Okay, yeah, so personal question then. If you did go down the evil path of life, how much would you want, Kevin, before you said, I'm out?
See, that's the thing. Once you get a taste, could you really stop?
Well, I figure if before you start, you set a goal.
Yeah, I've heard of that. People say they have a number in mind, but I don't think anyone can really do that.
You think so?
I don't think so. See, the problem is if you can set a number in mind of how much money you need
Yeah,
to take care of your needs for say the rest of your life,
okay.
and you have that in your head, you're probably not the kind of person who's going to go out and do something illegal and greedy anyway.
I guess not. Because the only goal I could think of is saving up enough money to buy Pine Island. I can build a house on there and live there the rest of my life.
Okay, yeah. But there it is. You're not the kind of person who's ever, tried to do anything.
I couldn't even afford Seagull Island right now.
I wonder if you can buy that.
I don't know.
Can you buy those rocks?
Somebody in the comments, write if you can buy little rocks that protrude out of the water that are only 25 square feet?
Yes, no, bigger than that. Maybe, probably the size of a small. It's got like 2 trees on it, 3 trees.
Yeah. And a lot of seagulls, hence the name, Seagull
Yeah.
Island.
Yeah, can you buy rocks in Lake Huron? That's what I'd like to know. Yeah. How do you buy Crown Land? It's Crown Land, right? So how do you buy? How much does Crown Land cost?
I always find it kind of interesting too. People who make a lot of money like that, it's never with land. Whatever happened to land? Land used to be such an important thing.
No, lots of people made money by speculating on land.
Yeah, you think so?
during the, well, sort of like housing during the
Yeah, I
bubble.
guess. Yeah. Good old everything these days are guns and drugs, though. When you read on the evil ways, because if you're doing it land, I guess you could do it on the up and up
Hmm.
without. You can be jerkish about it,
I don't
but
know. I heard that people who deal in marijuana are having a hard time
yeah,
because the
okay,
more
yeah,
states it becomes legal, and the less profitable it becomes.
yeah, yeah.
That's what I've heard.
Huh. Well, they'll just have to move on to something else.
Yeah, something more risque.
I'm scared.
Hmm. That's the problem. When you make something legal, your margins like go from this to like. I made a gesture. My hands went from wide to narrow.
Mm.
Yeah, that goes back to Lord of War. He said Nicolas Cage, when he was dealing in arms, he tried to get out of it for his wife for a while.
Yeah,
Remember?
yeah,
And he said that the problem was is that everything that was legal, there was too many people doing it,
yeah.
and so like margins were squeezed to like nothing. Yeah.
You think by then he had more than enough money to stop it? He wanted to go, basically.
Well, he had a lifestyle to keep up.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. The guy he had a.
Oftentimes, people who are that greedy are greedy because money just falls through their fingers too. Like,
You know that's true in a way. The same thing happens actually about NFL players. I've read often.
oh, they go bankrupt.
They go bankrupt. They're making like okay. Now first off, the average NFL player doesn't make millions of dollars. They'll make six figures. So they do all right for themselves like that, right?
Hmm.
But even the ones who are making like these multi-million-dollar contracts, like a few years after they retire, they're bankrupt already.
Yeah.
Because apparently football is the worst. I'm referring to American football, not European football here. American style football is the worst because there's a heavy image you have to
Yeah.
follow when you're a big football star. You need, the gold, you need the big vehicle, you need the house, and the groupies and all the rest of it. Like think about it this
You
way.
need groupies?
I think so. I don't know. Maybe.
How many
Well,
groupies would you need, Andrew,
how
if you
about
were a football player?
just one on the
You
side,
just want one groupie?
one groupie on the side.
Isn't that called a girlfriend?
Oh well, don't ruin it for me. I'll marry her and tell her to lie and say, say she's just a groupie. All right, this is off topic for a second here, but Encarnacion, a Blue Jays player, is currently being sued for $11 million.
Why?
So apparently, he has a long-term girlfriend with a kid too, by the way. It's another girl. They went to where was it? Dominican Republic, and they had a weekend romp of passion kind of thing. And the girl came back and suddenly discovered that she now has two STDs.
Oh.
And so she went and blamed him. And his response was, "No, you must have got it when we were riding our four-wheelers through the river. And when you drove through the river, you must have contacted them somehow." And she said, "That's stupid," and turned around and sued him. And so,
For $11 million?
$11 million.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know you could do
But
that.
what's making it look bad is because Encarnacion refuses to get checked out himself, kind of thing, which is like, well, that doesn't make it look very good for you. So watch out if you want to get a groupie for all you pro athlete dudes out there.
Don't you mean if you want to be a groupie for
If
all
you,
the groupie wannabes? Like,
yeah. Hey, do female athletes and rock stars have groupies?
oh, that's a good question. Yeah, they must.
They must.
But I wonder if it works the same way.
What? So like the male groupies get everything paid for them, and they just have to
Well, yeah, are the
put
male
out.
groupies there to like try and get their money? Like, I think the dynamic is different.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is something that deserves further
Well,
investigation.
yeah. Next time when it's Kevin and I, we're going to discuss male groupies.
Yes, we'll do some research and we'll
Yeah.
read about male groupies of the past.
Okay. So Wardogs. If you like that kind of thing, Kevin says watch it.
And tell us in the comments how much money is enough,
Yeah. How much money is enough for you,
and why? What would you do with it?
and why?
Yeah.
Shoot higher than.
Why do you need as much as you're talking about? Yeah.
Shoot higher than me. All right. In the meantime, take care of yourselves. Thank you very much for listening, and have a good night.
And tell Steve what you think of his Yeti mic.
Yeah, the Yeti mic. Bye bye.